Hey folks, Farm Tour Tuesday, January 24th, 2023. Whew, it's actually like 41 degrees out, but when I started it was 28, so now I'm getting hot in coveralls. I already took off my coat. So lots of stuff happened this morning. Maybe we'll spin you around here. So we're over here with Toast. We got everybody's round bales this morning, all 12. Our normal hay guy Dallas brought us round bales, and then our neighbor came to move them around and brought the 6 that he was giving us. So which is fantastic. This is one of the ones from him. And we gave it over here to Toast so we could start covering out all his areas, refluff up his shelter, which he has moved from way over there past the bale to over here. And yeah, that barn is still there. I have got to pull that thing down and replace it with a panel. I just haven't had the time. So yeah, we got his bale. We've been pulling off of it and spreading it around. And I think honestly, I'm gonna call that good because I've got to get to spreading everybody else's bales in the muddy spots. And then it's supposed to start sleeting. Yeah, sleeting anytime now. And then we're looking at the potential for between 5 and 12 inches of snow. They aren't certain, so yeah, we're gonna call that good for now to make sure everybody else's shelters are all fluffed up. So let's move on. Here we have the piglets enjoying all the fun, interesting things they get to mess with from all the tall, brambly sticks. Doing some concrete hurdles, maybe? No? Okay. Maybe? No. Anywho. So, this area right in front of the gate is real rough. Couple reasons. One, we used to park a chicken tractor right there, and then we turned it into a wallow. And now also the pigs pace the fence line there because when they see me with a bucket of feed. So that section gets pretty rough. You can see it's really nice, dense, nice grass cover. Oh, and there we have some snowflakes. I don't think they'll show up on here yet, but they'll probably get denser if it doesn't just turn to sleet on me like it's supposed to, and then turn to snow. But they're going to go through the low spot. You can see we've got most of that plastic pulled up. Everything but what they keep finding. Here's our little curious gal. So, yeah, I went ahead and put a bale in here. So we have 12 bales to move around. Put a bale in here to go ahead and start spreading out and covering all those low spots. And would you stop trying to eat me? Scared her off. There's our little boar, by the way, the red one. That's the boar we kept. Yeah. Oh, now I'm getting booped in the butt. Hey, can you stop, little lady? Anywho, so, oh, you can see that fat chunk one. Our big one, who's walking up behind the chunk one, tricolor, coming up. I'm being eaten alive here. Anywho, so that guy, I accidentally screwed up, actually, and someone on my wait list, I didn't move their name over right, or I just got too distracted with the weirdness of not having enough breeder piglets. I actually missed that one. So that guy's actually going home this weekend. So I had one last board, but I thought that was too many barrows, but I couldn't figure it out from my wait list. I'm back to being eaten. So I screwed up, as if I haven't told you guys enough times. I'm not perfect. So yeah, that guy gets to go home. So that leaves me with only 9 with this group. And we are processing, we'll talk about the big ones. These guys should be going out to the field soon. So to join the other ones. Oh, I'm really starting to get some sleep. So they got a hay bale. This big guy, who's at least 80 freaking pounds, I had picked him up and caught him once already yesterday to take him in there in case they were able to come get him, but their appointment ran long, so no biggie. They'll come this weekend. But this guy, so Jacqueline, if you watch this, that's your fella. So, all right, let's move on. So we're gonna go from this side here of the fence. So we went ahead and gave them one because I want to spread out and cover all of this up with a bale, but they've got plenty in their shelter. You can see Red is just lounging, lazy bum. There you can see some of the sleet that went in front of the camera. Yeah, Red, I'm talking about you. Yeah, you gonna come say hello? And you're noisy. I am actually kind of worried. She's really bouncy. I'm kind of worried she's back in heat. Like we'd said, I thought I saw some mucus, and then so he's been messing with her a bunch and messing with Biscuit a bunch. and someone smells like maple syrup. So not very strong today, but they did the other day. So I can't tell. I'm really going to be bummed out if I, which this was a potential for this boar, right? Like this, I don't actually remember if I said that, the whole story behind this boar. So crossing my fingers that he's good. He did come from, that's why we got him for free. One, because Chantel's just awesome, but two, there's a potential here for this guy. So he was in with a lady and didn't get the job done, but then another boar went in with that lady and also couldn't get the job done. So the thought was that it's the lady that was the problem in that pairing. And see, she's not swollen, she's just noisy. So I'm hoping that like he has got the job done, because nobody has been receptive to him. He has tried multiple times and nobody has stood for him that I've seen. So fingers crossed, he has got the job done. He has been asserting his dominance quite a bit, peeing everywhere and flailing it about and just being very vocal. Same as the two of them being very, well, Biscuit's not crazy vocal. Ginger's the most vocal pig I have, beyond Red. He's pretty vocal. So he has been trying with the two of them. They haven't been receptive. Everybody's peeing now. So yeah, that's a decent sign that pigs are in heat. If they're just all over the place peeing and trying to spread around those pheromones, and fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah. All right. We're gonna keep moving on. So we got the update on them. Some concern, and then they've all got hay going into all this weather. Their barrel is still good. The piglets have been sleeping in that little A-frame and this, which are both fluffed down with fresh hay. Yeah. All right. And the dogs are doing great, as always. They're fantastic. Their shelter is nice and dry. We dropped 2 bales there because this one, because I'm tussling, that one is all, spread out there and did a great job of what it needed to do. So those 2 bales will then cover up all that bare soil and hopefully seed it with some nice stuff. I'm going to seed this spring, but then also, if nothing else, just cover up the soil and reduce the organic matter that can leach out. So, all right. Off to feeders and the last set of breeders. All right, so when we did this too, rather than me try to buy a bunch of square bales to cover all of this, since we had, 6 free bales, and none of them were, amazing hay quality, when the net wrap broke, trying to come through the gate here. Gate. I just cut the wire ties on 3 sets of the fences, so that we could take one all the way back and then this one here, and we had to kind of push and roll it. So these are going to get both of these are going to get spread out between all 4 farrowing yards to give us some more cover over all this bare soil. So we'll get that done later on this week, probably. Depends on what the weather does. That sleet's kind of starting to come down a bit better now. Still not bad. I'm still obviously out here and doing fine, but now we'll move off to the feeders, who, as you can tell, camera's going all over the place. Oh. Okay. All right, so moving over to the feeders, which this was me, that I left the hose running all night last night in that barrel. So kind of popped that piece off a little further and flooded all of that. So that's me. That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. But you can see this is getting real worked up, and tractor tires didn't help. My footprints don't help, and 11 pigs don't help. But to resolve this, we dropped 1 bale there, 1 bale here, and 1 bale over there. So they've got 3 bales for this paddock. And then of course we dropped one in that far paddock, and we didn't drop one with them because they still have one. So as far as updates with these guys go, we have sold 2.5 of the, I'm gonna trip, somebody's rubbing on me. We've sold 2.5 of the larger 5 that we're able to sell. Because like I said, the one with the broken leg, where are you at, ma'am? Over there. Was broken when she was a piglet, and so now she just walks a little funny. So we're only selling the other ones as whole and halves. So those are our 15-month-olds. So we sold 2.5 of those. And so we'll get them custom exempt processed. Fingers crossed on the 30th. I can't get Neil's meat to answer the phone. Yesterday I tried calling twice. I got a call today still. They have openings for the 30th and 31st. One day being USDA and the other being custom. But I want to make sure I can drop off all 6 same time so that I don't have to make a 1 hour one-way trip twice back to back, that I can just do it all 6 same time. Just drop them off early in the morning one day, and I'll feel bad that they have to stay at the processor overnight. The other half of them will, but I think they'll be okay as long as the processor will even allow me to do that. They're just gonna follow me around. Hi guys. So anywho, that's the plan with those. We have sold a ton of the quarter hogs. I think we've sold 11 of those now, which is fantastic. Absolutely awesome. So we'll be able to clear out freezer space. That way we can get back the other, 3.5 whole hogs that we'll have to USDA process and get for the freezer. And then we'll just keep offering those quarter hogs for sale. Although what we need to do with the quarter hogs is we need to up the price. So currently they're listed at $5 for the quarter hogs a pound, which is USDA inspected including. So that USDA inspection costs me, and I figured it out from my last round of USDA inspection, it's like almost $2.60 a pound. So after all things are put in for a normal pig, okay, normal hog, the USDA inspected processing for just your average cuts too, not like a crazy amount of sausage, crazy amount of anything like that. So all of that included, feed included, gas for weigh included, hay included, which we figure on one round bale's worth of hay per pig, so $40 to $60 per pig for its life, which doesn't always happen, but sometimes they get drastically more than that, or if we have to buy square bales, that's obviously drastically more expensive than a round bale. So it's a good kind of estimate. But so all of that factored in puts me at hi, yes, please stop chewing. All of that, I don't mind the piglets chewing, but a bigger sow chewing is less fun. So, or even you guys, stop it. So that puts me at like $4.89 a pound in cost for just feed, gas for weigh, hay, and processing fees. So I'm making maybe 11 cents a pound, which is not sustainable. You know, I mean, that doesn't pay labor at all. That doesn't even cover the gas to the processor, right? That already enough kind of eats it. So probably more than eats it. So that, like, I'm going to have to bump it up. And we're going to bump it up to 7. And that still doesn't cover, that doesn't really pay me still, but it at least then covers sales tax, gas to the processor, credit card processing fees, and honestly, that about nails it. There'd be a little bit left over for other farm expenses, trailer payment, stuff like that. But we're still not then even making money off that. So if we are, it'd be like another 10 cents. Here's some better sleet coming down. I don't think it's visible. You can see it over the pigs. I don't know. You can hear it on the tin. But yeah, so that's the goal there. But we're just doing that, okay, to clear out stock, right? I need to have less pigs here, but I do also need to be able to pay the bills while they're still here and while they're going. So then we have 5 more that need to go in the next 2 months. Cupcake is already there. Cupcake, wherever she got off to, she's already 250 pounds. So she could go in with this group, but I'll just leave her to go in with the rest of them because I don't have freezer space for an extra one. Which, speaking of, like I said, so if someone is interested in another half or whole, there's still 2.5 of those left available. So hit me up if you do. We're gonna, I forget what I was really going with that. So we need to spread all these bales out. Okay, that's the other thing here. We're gonna spread out all these bales, cover this bare soil. Yep, cover all of this. From where they found all the freaking pieces of charcoal. They are biochar. They have been hunting that stuff down like crazy. And I would just move them to the paddock that doesn't, because this is the only paddock we put biochar in. Now that sleet's kind of coming down even harder. So this is the only paddock we put biochar in. So they've not done this to any other paddock. And I'd move them but I don't want to have to move. I'd have to move Red, and I'd have to move them, and they've got tons of grass where they're at in that back corner. So I'm really, this is just where they're going to stay for the next week, especially since that's like a week and a half tops. And then I'd have to bring them back in here and shuffle everybody else back around so that we can catch them in the trailer. I'd like to go ahead and park the trailer in here Thursday and start getting them used to it again. That way I can just close them in and everybody will load out nice and easy. I'll pull the trailer out, and have it ready to go first thing in the morning. So they'll just stay the night in the trailer. Yeah, there we go. I don't think there's any more updates for that. We have 2.5 of those, lots of quarter hogs still that we can make available, and it's sleeting. So if you guys don't mind with that sleet really starting to come in, I'm not going to walk all the way back there through the mud to get to Payday and his ladies. So we'll go ahead and just wrap it out here. They've got their bale of hay still. It's most of a bale. They've been eating away at the bottom, so it looks like a mushroom, but they have that bale. And then we added a bale to the other 2 paddocks that are over there. And then they seem good. I can't tell if he's gotten the job done on them yet or not. So I haven't seen them stand, and he has attempted to mount them a few times, but again, no one's receptive. So we'll see there. We still have 2.5 months left. They're like end of March, so we still have a ways until they're due to have their piglets. So they should barely be showing, if at all, and so they're pretty well on track. It'll be another month before I'm like, oh, if you're not showing, like, I need to get concerned again. But yeah, there we go. There's our update. I would like to get out of the sleet before it picks up because it's supposed to just keep going. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to our Patreon supporters, Raymond and Ashley Hunter. And thank you to everybody that has really like pitched in and supported us by buying these whole and half hogs and by buying quarter hogs. That is exceedingly helpful right now. And there are still many available. I'm actually going to go in and start packing up the quarter hogs to get them all ready in case the roads are still drivable tomorrow. If they're not still drivable tomorrow, then I will move it to next Wednesday that we'll deliver all of those, which actually a few people already requested that they're driving in. We got one person that's driving in to pick one up for her and her mom from Seneca, Missouri, which is like 80 miles away. It's like an hour and a half away, which is awesome. Super, super appreciate it. But when we were talking that she may come next week. I had another person that they're actually going to be out of town, so they're going to push to next week, which is great. That's less massive amounts of pork I have to try to squeeze in my truck and drive around. So that's okay. Yeah. So there's still some of those left available. And then once we get these ones back, there will be even more of those available. And then when those 5 go in, that's whether they go in USDA or go in as whole and half, those are available. And then we'll have 8 of the little feeder piglets left to go available. And then whatever we wind up getting out of whatever litters are born this spring. And then after that, we're knocking down to 2 sows and 1 boar. So I got to decide which sows stay, which boar stays. And then from there, expect to see a lot of, and actually probably expect to see with one of these 5, I am probably going to process one of them on farm. I just want to wait till our kitchen reno is done. As soon as the kitchen reno is done, we're going to have a 7-foot long, 3-foot wide butcher block table as the kitchen island. So, and we're setting it up to be able to do this kind of stuff. So I'm going to be doing a lot of processing on farm. All of our pigs for us are going to be processed on farm from here on out. As soon as this settles down and the kitchen is done, I will be processing 3 to 4 pigs a year for our use on farm, building a smokehouse. So you'll get to video of the smokehouse when we build it. And then we'll go through videos of breaking down the pigs and what we're doing with them, more recipes for bratwurst sausages and bacons and dry cured hams and stuff like that as that becomes something that we're doing more of. So yeah. All right. Sorry, that was way after the thank you guys everybody for watching. So one last one, I guess. Thank you guys for watching. You guys have a great week. I am going to go and stop getting rained on.